Oh. All right. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Welcome, members of council, members of the staff, and members of the public. We'll call the meeting back to order. It is now a little after 5:30 p.m. As I indicated, council had met in camera, and then we had a recess, and so we have returned for Monday, October the 21st, 2024 council meeting. This is a regular council meeting. Welcome everybody back to summer. It's been a beautiful weekend and nice warm weather out there today. So council, I'd like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations, Métis and Inuit peoples of Canada as traditional stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Tiahuanacocha, and the Wendat, and is the home of many First Nations, Métis and Inuit peoples as part of an intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask the Creator for guidance in all that we do. Council, as you know, it's always my pleasure and my honor to deliver the land acknowledgement on behalf of this community, and I do so voluntarily and proud to do so. Okay, Council, we do have a regular agenda here in front of us, and it's great to be back here at the table. So council, at this time, we'll move to item number 2, which is approval of the agenda. Let's see, recommendation be it resolved that council of the township Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated October 21st, 2024 as presented. Mr. Broderick, seconded by Mr. MacArthur. Thank you so much. Members of council, all those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you. Disclosure, pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Is there anybody on council with a disclosure at this time? All right. If something comes up here in the meeting, please bring it forward at that time. I do look to item number 4, which is our public participation period. I'll first check with our deputy clerk. Madam Deputy Clerk, has there been any electronic participations for this week's council meeting?
Thank you, Your Worship. No, there hasn't.
Okay. Thank you. No public participations. So I will dispense with reading this as we have no one in the audience to come forward at this time. And so we'll move directly to item number 5, which is our deputations and presentations. We're very happy to welcome to our council chamber and to our community, Carrie Plater. Hello, nice to see you. Carrie's with the Living Wish Foundation, and she wishes to come forward to our podium and speak to us, council, in regards to the Share the Mission. So it's a pleasure to have you here joining us and talk to us about the valuable work that you and your team are doing.
Thank you very much, Your Worship and council members. So yes, my name is Carrie Plater. I'm a director on the board of directors with the Living Wish Foundation. And we want to thank you, first of all, for allowing our foundation to come today to present to you information about what our foundation is all about. So we are a not-for-profit organization that started in December of 2018, and we were registered as a charity in 2019. We have a robust board of directors, and we are a working board, so we all have our tasks that we do to keep the foundation running on a day-to-day basis. Our founders were Nancy Good Kennedy, who's a registered nurse, Elisa Wright, who's also a registered nurse, and Dr. Alyssa Boyd, and she's a lead physician, and she generalizes with palliative care patients. So they started the foundation, and they were right in our 5th year now, celebrating that. We have WISH consultants, Melissa, Sam, and Garrett, who work with the WISH recipients to fulfill the wish. And we have a WISH program coordinator, Kelly Cookson, who also works to organize all the details in the background. So our mission is to provide medically supervised and supported end-of-life wishes to patients in the region who are faced with a terminal diagnosis. Through granting wishes, we hope to assist people to live with the terminal illness, reframe hope, and enhance the quality of life until their death. And this is so important because when we can empower every person and organization in the community to embrace what we do, then that helps put a smile on the face of the WISH recipient and their final days or weeks. And it helps the family with lasting memories to enjoy after the patient has passed. So the problem that we face basically is by the time patients are faced with the thought that there is no cure and they are in their final days, they're often too sick to realize their end of life wishes. The family, they're caregiving for the recipient and cannot take on the risk. The solution that we've come up with, the Living Wish Foundation, we team to work with the patients and families to determine what would be worth looking forward to and reframe the hope around this patient-driven goal. And so again, just like to keep it on a nice note at the end and give them some lasting memories. How we do this, self-refer, sorry. Okay, thank you. Self-referral or physician referral. So once a patient is terminally ill prognosis with 1 year or less, then a wish can be realized for the patient. The physician and patient can complete an application on the livingwishfoundation.org website. Living Wish Foundation team then meets to discuss and approve their request. And then the Living Wish Foundation team member is assigned to make the wish happen. What would you wish for if you could have one last thing before you die? Would it be an early anniversary party, a walk on the beach, a visit from a beloved pet, one last visit home to see the garden, or your favorite ice cream? We completed 100 wishes this year, and this just looks at a few of our wishes. Mama on the one side of your screen, she had never married and always wanted to be married, so her best friend married her. And on the other side, we have a gentleman that went to a Blue Jays game. And this was a retired flight nurse who wanted to have one last flight. And then another Blue Jays game. That's one of our popular wishes. And this gentleman with the dog, and I think the dog was more excited to see the patient. So sometimes, you know, our pets are a great family member. So that put a smile on both of their faces. And then the other lady, she was able to see her coworkers that she nursed with. So our inspiration came from Stitching Ambulance Wens in the Netherlands, and we're one of the few organizations in Canada that provides this service. And Callie is our patient transfer vehicle. I say was because it's in need of a lot of repairs at the current time. And it was donated from the county of Simcoe in thanks to Cal Patterson when he was part of the county. And how you can get involved, donations, we require office space currently, corporate donors. So we have many corporations in the area, and sometimes this helps us cut down on the costs of our wishes. We have a denturist locally that does mold castings of hands, which is another popular thing. So we're blessed with that to be free of charge. So it doesn't cost the foundation any money to do that wish. Volunteers, so you can apply online. We hope that people will spread the word through word of mouth and social media, identifying the patients earlier than when we're known about it, and checking out our website. And our website's there on the page. Our directions for next year, fundraising. So we have corporate sponsors that help us, and we're always looking for more. We have an annual event, the Feast at Frogs Hollow. It generates about $20,000 per year. And the Cal Patterson hockey tournament last year, it just keeps growing and growing. Last year, we raised $50,000. We'll be opening that up for 2024 or 2025 very soon. And third-party events. So we are always welcoming anyone who does a birthday party or an event and a golf tournament, things like that, that help us raise funds. Our outreach program, which again, thank you very much for having me here today. We go out to service clubs and seniors organizations and lots of places, hospice and caregivers in the area, in the Simcoe County area, to speak to anyone and everyone that we can. And you can make a wish happen by filling out the online application on our website. And that brings lots of joy to the patient and the act of showcase the impact of nursing on our patients as well. And again, thank you, Your Worship and council members, for your time. Are there any questions?
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you to your organization for the great work you do in our community. As I said earlier, we couldn't be happier that your organization is here in our community. So that's so great. Members of council, do you have any questions to Carrie? Yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple of things, Carrie, to speak out. I had the opportunity to be at the hospice gala recently, and they showcased one of your Make-A-Wish stories. And I think it can be fairly said, a lot of time it isn't about the cost of the actual wish. In this case, it was going for a ride in a Corvette. But it's more the organization that, that it takes to make it happen. So, kudos to your group, and I keep going. Question, right now you're saying you're looking for office space. Where is your office space now?
Don't have office space. We work out of our homes or meet at someone's house for a meeting. We do a lot of Zoom call meetings or people's backyards.
Or you work out of the back of Cali, the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big an area do you think you need?
Well, we have space basically for our wish coordinator to work, and she works currently 2 or 3 days a week. And then other board of directors to come in and have space. So maybe a space that would accommodate a couple of people.
All right, we'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yes, we will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Members of council, anything further? Nothing for, oh, Mr. MacArthur?
I don't think you give, what territory do you cover as far as around the
Yeah.
neighborhood?
So we just enhanced our territory limits to 65 kilometers outside of Collingwood in all directions. So we do cover the Owen Sound, Alliston, Aurelia, Barrie, Innisfil, and then where we started, Stainer, Segbeat, Collingwood area.
That's great. Yes, members of council? Yeah, good question from the clerk. How many wishes this year do you think you've got to at 2024 so far?
So this year I think we've done probably about 20 this year.
Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yes, so 5 years ago, and to do 100, we had a lot of catching up to do so far because of COVID. We didn't get a lot of wishes done during that time.
Right.
And our outreach is really improving. So we're finding out earlier, and the more people that know, obviously, the more people can come to us closer to, to be able to organize that.
Right.
And a lot of our wishes are done at hospice currently. We have a great working relationship with hospice.
Right on. All right, if there's nothing further, I'll just want to add, I knew Cal Patterson very well. He was the mayor of Wasaga Beach. He was the warden of Simcoe County. And as a past warden of Simcoe County, I was so pleased to see him, even in his, days when he was not feeling that well, to come to the county office and help us present the ambulance to your organization. And so it was a very nice and significant day for us in Simcoe to have somebody of the quality of character of Cal Patterson to be a big fan of your organization. So
Yeah.
really grateful to him. I have Councillor Deneen who would like to say something first.
Through your worship. A big thank you to your organization for what you do and for reaching out to our grants program. It's our pleasure to offer assistance in enabling these living wishes. And on that note, I will hand it back to the mayor. Thank you.
I'd like you to come forward because we have that gift for you right here.
Thank
We've
you.
normally send them out in the mail, but we knew you were coming. So we're going to come forward and take a picture with you. Is that okay? All right, council, come forward. Yeah, we normally send these out in the mail, but not since you were going to be here today. That's right. That's right. I know. Now, before we take the picture, I just let you know that the deputy mayor and Councilor Dean are on the committee along with our deputy treasurer, deputy clerk here. And they brought forward the report to our council, which supported giving you this grant. And in this is a check for $1,500. Okay?
Smile, 1, 2, 3. Good, thank you.
Thank you. Well done. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was really good news, wasn't it? And I must say, I don't know why I continue to have this mental block about calling our deputy clerk the deputy treasurer. I say that often. I've done it a couple of times and I got to stop doing that. I don't know. You're both marvelous people. You both have, stunning smiles. So I guess it just gets me stuck. Anyway, there you go. All right, members of council, that was a nice moment to start our council meeting. At this time, we're at item number 6, public meetings. There are no public meetings tonight. So at this time, we have the approval of the council meeting minutes. And I believe there are 2 of them on here, October 3rd and October 7th. Let me get the right glasses to confirm. Yes, the resolution, be it resolved, the council of the township of Clearview hereby approve the minutes of October 3rd and October 7th, 2024 council meetings as presented. Deputy Mayor?
I have declared a peculiar interest in October 3rd, but not in the October 7th council meeting.
Okay, so if you'd like to withdraw for this motion.
Right, I don't know if you want to split the motion or it doesn't matter to me. You can do the whole thing at once.
How about you just withdraw?
I'll withdraw.
Seems fine to me. Members of council, there's a motion. I'll look for a mover and seconder. Mr. Walker, Mr. Beelan, thank you very much. Any questions about the approval of the minutes? Seeing none, I'll call a motion. All in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you very much. And welcome back. All right, business arising from the minutes, if any. Any members? All right, and communications from the mayor now. We did have a closed session. There is no closed session report at this time. Council, I get a move right to 9.2, which is resolution in regards to Blue Box program. I'm going to thank Councillor Broderick for bringing this forward. I'll read the resolution. I'll assume that Councillor Broderick will be the mover, and then I'll look for a seconder. We're going to have a brief conversation. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby support the motion from the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus requesting that the province reconsider the criteria for including non-eligible NESs in the OREG 391-21 at a minimum to expand the producer responsibility to include industrial, commercial, institutional, or known as ICNI properties not governed by OREG 103-94 to bridge the gap between the 2 regulations criteria while promoting continued participation in recycling programs. And that council directs staff to send this support motion to the Honorable Andrea Kanjan, Minister of the Environment, Conservation Parks, and our Simcoe Grey MPP, Brian Saunderson. Moved by Councillor Broderick, seconded by, is there a second? Deneen, thank you very much. I'd like to just start before I open it to the floor. Our county council has debated this a few times, and we had quite a discussion about the whole concept of the IC&I program and how there are certainly areas within all of our municipalities across the county that are missing some of the important volunteer and public nonprofit organizations that fall into this category, and how it actually impacts their budget if they are not participating in this program. So this is still a work in progress, and I know that more motions like this are coming from across the province, because many communities have similar situations like ours. Like, for instance, the food bank. The food bank would not be able to participate in this program, and would actually have to pay to have their garbage and or recycling removed. Taking funds out of fundraising to pay to have recycled materials removed is ridiculous. So we need the province to step up and do this. I'll open the floor to councilors. Mr. Broderick, would you like to go first?
Yeah, this is something that's come to the fore a few times at both BIA meetings and chamber meetings. Something needs to change.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Thank you so much. Mr. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. I think the proper way of putting it is this is a working paper right now. It's working in process. We know that the producer organizations will be responsible this as of, I say January 1st, 2025, but the exact date is somewhere around there. And once they implement that, I think then the follow will start to show up. There are, as we talked about, there are many communities already paying for the pickup of their IC&I waste in the downtown cores. How much further that's going to go. The other discussion is with our landfills filling up the next 2 years, where some of them have been able to drop stuff off, and that is being discontinued as well. So there's a whole discussion going forward. The next 2-3 years are very critical when it comes to waste management.
Any other comment? Thank you. Any other comments from members of council? All right. Thank you, Councillor Broderick, for bringing this forward. Members of council, there's a motion in front of you with a mover and seconder. I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you. All right. Now we have another one on the agenda. Our deputy clerk, not treasurer, deputy clerk has requested this be put in there. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby support the motion from the Township of Adelaide Metcalf requesting that the province, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, consider increasing the maximum annual tile drain loan limit to a minimum of $100,000, and that council direct staff to send this support motion to the Honorable Lisa Thompson, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, MAFRA, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and the Rural Ontario Municipal Association, and all Ontario municipalities. Members of council, can I get a mover and seconder to support this motion from our deputy clerk? And Mr. Beelan, I see your card, and I'll go with Mr. MacArthur for your card. Thank you. Anybody like to speak towards to this motion? Anybody on council? Mr. Walker?
Thank you, Your Worship. In the recommendation, it says to increase the maximum, but yet it's asking to a minimum of 100. Should that not be to a maximum of 100,000?
Yeah. Increasing the maximum annual tile drain loan limit to a minimum of 100,000. So the maximum should be 100,000.
So that should be maximum instead of minimum.
Basically, where to go to.
Help me out here, deputy clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I can help. So the maximum amount they're suggesting is 100,000, at least, maybe 150,000, depending on what
Okay.
council wants. The maximum amount would be what they can take out, but they could take less. So they could ask for 70,000 or 80,000, but the minimum amount for the increase should be at least 100,000.
Okay.
English, it's a fun language. Anybody else with any questions? Yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Just a minor amendment to this, Your Honor. The Lisa Thompson is no longer our Minister of Agriculture. We have
Correct.
Rob Flack is now
I
our
forgot.
Minister of
Yeah.
Agriculture. So I just want the amendment noted.
Yeah, well, it's a friendly amendment. Thank
Friendly
you.
amendment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's correct. Yeah. All right. Any other members? Any other members? No? All right. Council, you've got a motion in front of you. I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? Thank you. That carries unanimous. Well done. Okay, make sure we get the correct address when we send this off. Okay, good job. Further on, section 9, the NVCA media in regards to seeking feedback on the resource management strategy and also the board highlights from 2024. Paul, would you like to speak to those this time?
I can just speak. Everybody may see in the paper right now notices from the NVCA and on their website asking for comment. They're really reaching out to try and get, you know, improve ideas for improvement and stuff like that, and getting feedback on it. As far as the meeting highlights, I spoke to them recently at the first meeting we were at. We will be going to meeting again this Friday. It's a virtual meeting, so we'll be hearing more about it, but they're trying to be more reactive and they've actually come out in the defense and saying, hey, this, you know, we are doing a good job and these are the statistics to support it. So we're working away at things, trying to make things better, and we'll continue to see how things work out.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. Members of council, any questions to Paul in regards to the NVCA? Seeing none. All right. Yes, go ahead.
I just want to make one comment that is coming up in our meeting, and you heard me talk about it at the previous meeting that we're looking at, you know, increasing some of our staffing. We've told them we need better services, and especially with the onslaught of some of the big projects coming, in particular, like the new Honda and the new Catholic school in Wasaga. And so, and as I remind people that Clearview right now is the fourth largest user of NVCA services. But one of the things that came to my attention, they're starting to talk about, they're doing a review of the New Lowell Dam. And we talked about it last year. I went to them about the history on it and the importance of it. And because they're talking about it, there is some discussion, and I'm only seeing the preliminary start of it, that they're going to get an evaluation done on it to see if the dam is still viable. In other words, do we need the dam anymore? My comment, I guess, is bringing it to council and saying, is there a spin-off not only from the, you know, the water control point of view, but also from the utility to the community? So I will keep watching that for us, but I may be coming to council and saying, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And go from there, but it is on a discussion.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I think then we're prepared to move on to county reports for information. County does meet tomorrow. Tomorrow's council meeting. We do have 2 items on the county report. There is the Give a Lift fundraising campaign. We did surpass the goal. Just a quick comment on that from me. The whole of county council participated in a little bit of a media event in front of our building, our administration building. And one of the things that I learned from it was that we actually have bicycles that are set up to help people give a lift. So residents at some of our long-term care facilities can go for a bicycle ride on a bicycle built for 2 with a little carriage that basically looks like a rickshaw, and you can help your resident go for a little bike ride around the property over in Penetanguishene around the Georgian Manor. I thought that was just a brilliant idea because I think that you know, getting out and enjoying outside the space beyond the building is probably just as important for some of these residents. So it was really great. Good campaign. And the other thing about, they did put it in here in regards to County Road 4 in Bradford, West Gwillimbury. There's a new roundabout being built there. Surprisingly enough, County Road 4 is one of our busiest roads in all of our county road system. And so they wanted to make sure that this was out so that we all had the understanding that if we're traveling in that direction, the County Road 4 is definitely going to be blockaded for a while as they get this built. So it's important for us all to note that. Sometimes we travel in the GTA area or on the outskirts of the GTA. Go ahead, Paul.
Just a further comment to it, Your Honor. Remember, I believe that is all in the jurisdiction of Innisfil, and Lynn Dolan made Mayor Dolan made the comment. We're better to close the road and rip the Band-Aid off all at once to get it done quickly. And I'll add to that comment a bit. If people noticed last night, we got the paving done in front of our fire hall.
Yep.
And according to people that were working there, they are under the MTO rules must do it at night. So they started at 8 o'clock last night doing the paving, and today the road is, I'll say, paved.
Yeah.
So anyways, it may be doing a bit more tonight. I'm not sure, but anyways.
I think just as a comment, you're gonna see more and more road construction works happen in the evening hours. But they may be some of our roads, but all right across the province, there's so much infrastructure work that needs to be done that I think you're gonna see more and more of that happening. All right, those are the two items that come from county. County Council is gonna be meeting tomorrow, and we look forward to that meeting. If there's nothing further, we're going to go right to our ward reports, where you get an opportunity to tell us a little bit some of the meetings that each member has been participating in that are moving the business forward for the municipality. We'll start with Councillor Broderick.
Thank you, Your Worship. October 8th, attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce executive meeting. And the 15th was the Chamber of Commerce regular meeting. Actually, we had it featuring open mic night. That night we had several business members come and give us insight into how they felt things were going and what we could do to improve things. October 18th, attended the Sunnydale Hall Board meeting. And the 19th, Rhonda and I actually attended the dramatic stage reading by Gavin Crawford. That was quite the evening. And October 20th, I partook in Central Ontario ATV Club's warden training session and patrol, and we split up into 3 groups, and I wound up patrolling with the group that was doing the southern section, which includes all of the Simcoe County forests within Clearview Township. And I got to tell you, it was a glorious ride. I think we're at peak as far as the fall colors right now.
All right, John.
The Creemore BIA meeting comes up tomorrow night, and actually the Songwriters That Rock event is coming up on Wednesday night.
That's
in
great.
Ottawa.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Councillor MacArthur.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Just fantastic weather, as we all know, the last, well, more than a month, but the last couple of weeks. So Thanksgiving weekend, the traditional Horse and Hound Parade in Creemore and Harvest Fest drew, I would say, 3/4 of the crowd of Copper Kettle. There was cars parked way around the village. I was quite impressed. Last Saturday, the vertical challenge took place around in the hills of Creemore. Saturday night, I attended home opener for the Creemore Coyotes, and where the score wasn't what we wanted, but it was a hard fought game, and we had some of our sponsored check presentations and retired one of the numbers for Jackson Clark. And John mentioned the colors. The word must be out that Clearview is the place to be for colors. But we came home from Walkerton on Friday afternoon, and at Devil's Glen Provincial Park, I have never seen so many cars. There
No
had to
kidding.
be 50 cars on each side of 124 highway, and people randomly crossing the road to boot. So, and according to the wife, she said there'd been cars parked there through the week even. So
Yep.
I don't know where people are getting their info, but we're drawing a crowd. Thank
I couldn't agree more, by the way. I'll just comment on that too. I was over to Clifford and back, and both times early in the morning, lots of cars. And even by dusk, when I came home, there was still cars. Impressive. Yeah, impressive. Thank you very much for that report. Deputy Mayor, would you like to go now?
Thank you, Your Worship. And I just add on to that, we have, if everybody remembers, 1.5 years ago, we sent a letter to the ministry at that time about opening up that Devil's Glen Park. And we've had some meetings lately with some other organizations that we've encouraged them to pursue that option still, because everybody's looking at the environmental, the outdoor experiences and everything else. So it's back on the radar again, I think, from our point of view, and it's hopefully the province will take note of it, sort of thing, but we'll see what happens with that. Similar to some of the things that we've talked about, one of the things we had the opportunity to attend this last Friday was the retirement of Mr. Dan Gowan, our facilities manager in Creemore. And it was a wonderful event. I don't know, Terry, did you want to talk to that at all, or give us any saying about Dan while we're on his topic?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. No, not really. Yeah, everybody knows Mr. Gowan, 39 years of service, Creemore boy. We had a nice little celebration for him on Friday with him and his family. It went very well. He is on to greener pastures, I guess, as they say. And but no, everything went well. We recognized his service, and he'll be missed.
That's for sure. He's one of the good, we'll say the good old boys that's been around for a while. So anyways, that was nice to go to. As the mayor mentioned, we were at county tomorrow morning. The other thing I have the opportunity to do on Thursday night, I'll be attending the Federation of Agriculture's annual meeting banquet in Baxter. So anyways, if anybody wants to go, there are still a few tickets, but it's for the support of the agricultural community. So that's it, Your Worship.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I also attended the Dan Gowan event. It was great. It was really good to see somebody have a long, successful career with our township. Councillor Janine.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple of things. Councillor Broderick was saying about the small halls. Wednesday at the Nottawa Hall is the 23rd. Songwriters That Rock. Don't miss it. It sounds like it's going to be a great night. It's $25 to get in or $30 at the door if there are tickets left. As of last Thursday, I believe, there were already 90 of 120 tickets sold. So that should be a great night. We have a new business in Nottawa, and it was in the Creemore Echo. It was a lovely write up in the Creemore Echo. Nottawa Cottage Bookstore. It's in the side yard behind the Nottawa General. So if you get a chance, stop in and give them some support there. This again would be, I guess, borderline Councillor Broderick's area and my own at the fairgrounds. Matilda, the second weekend of Matilda is coming up. It's going to be on the Friday at 7:30, and then on Saturday the 26th there's a 3 o'clock performance and a 7:30 performance. The Clearview Community Theatre doing Matilda. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much, and glad to see you're feeling much better too. Councillor Beelan.
Thank you, Your Worship. October 16th, the Station on the Green had a board meeting. All is well there. The same day, October 16th, the Brentwood Hall had a meeting. And as a liaison, the Hall Board would like me to state that the Brentwood Hall Board would like council to proceed with the hall renovations next year so that we have it on record. October 18th, I drove all the way to Bella for the Cranberry Festival. I thought I'd check out other people's festivals. And I was surprised to see so many people from Clearview, so many vendors from Clearview at that festival. It was really neat, good weather. People were really friendly. And October 20th, which was yesterday, Station on the Green had their volunteer appreciation lunch. And I got to be a server, waiter, which I haven't done for 45 years. So it was a good time. And thanks, Sonia, for those cupcakes.
The world famous cupcakes. Good job. Thank you, Councillor Beelan. Well done. Mr. Walker, Councillor Walker.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. October the 8th, it was the accessibility. And just a couple of highlights. We are working towards Accessibility Week next year, which is May 25th to the 31st, 2025. Looking forward to putting on some discussions and maybe some workshops or whatever. Busy working on that. We are also looking at identifying ourselves a little more with a back panel and a valance for it to use on the Clearview tents. When and out, we're out about with that using ourselves for accessibility. Yeah, on the 15th, we had library board meeting, and there again, we're busy working on updating policies. And we're in talks with Service Ontario. I'll leave it at that. On the 20th of October, I did attend the Clearview Community Theatre production of Matilda. Great show, and congratulations to the cast and crew. An amazing show, job well done. And yesterday afternoon was sold out. And I do believe that Friday and both shows on Saturday are close to being sold out, and tickets are online through their website. But it's a great show. If you got an opportunity, please go and see it. But to them, great job by all involved. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Councillor Walker. And I'm glad to hear that Matilda is a great looking show. Great. It's always great to see how the community theater group is doing in our community. Also, it's great to see them using the Great Northern Exhibition Grounds as a wonderful venue, that it gets transformed into a very professional theater. Good job. I only have a couple quick things I want to mention. It was mentioned earlier, the Horse and Hound event in downtown Creemore. I have to say, folks, there were like 2,500 people in the downtown core of Creemore for that event. People were coming from everywhere. It was really something. You know, it's a great spectacle. We see it often, or we see it every year now in Creemore. It's become a real tradition to see. But it's really something to see folks that had never seen this before. Like, their reaction is just amazed at these hounds. You know, you don't call them the dogs, they're the hounds. And I thought it was really well organized once again, very safe event. You know, some people are a little nervous and concerned about the dogs walking or the hounds running on the street without being on leash, etc. But so well behaved, and it's kudos to the organizers. And they, you know, they don't just do this on one weekend. These people train to keep their horses and their hounds in a, you know, in a safe condition when they're out there with the public. So I give them a lot of credit for putting that on. And I also want to acknowledge the folks at the Village Green Foundation, who put together quite a good show that weekend. It was a lot of fun, for sure. So I just wanted to mention that it was a really great event. The weather is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying a couple more days of it here. But let's not be kidding ourselves. Winter is coming. And so just a heads up for the residents at Clearview, there will be the parking bylaw will come into effect coming on later on in November in regards to parking on the streets. So that's yet to happen. It's October. I thought it was, what is it? It's coming right up. It's here. I understood it was November. Oh, well then, I'm going to go reread the bylaw. Maybe we need to amend it, given the fact that we're seeing significant, you know, climate change. Apologies. I will check. Nevertheless, I just wanted to make that understood. And so we support our bylaw team who will be out there dealing with that and making enforcement matters as necessary. So that's all I have at this time, but I did note that Councillor MacArthur has something else he wants to add. Go ahead.
Yeah, just mentioning about the festival in Creemore. Of course, I do in my rides in the afternoon. I've heard comments over and over that this is a tradition for a lot of families. They don't just come for one. Once they come once, they seem to want to come back every year.
Absolutely.
So that speaks to the quality of the event.
My experience was meeting people who had never seen this before or never seen horses and hounds do that. Just, you know, pictures from old England. They didn't realize that it still sort of existed. So anyway, that was a neat event, and I'm very pleased that it continues. I did have people ask me about, you know, cleaning up the horse refuse on the street, and I pointed out to them we're an agricultural community. We're not going to be concerned about that today. So that's how it went down. Council, we're going to move on then in our agenda. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for correcting me. I appreciate that. We have an item underneath number 12, which is our bylaw enforcement team. Speaking of bylaw enforcement, we do have our senior bylaw official with us. Joe is here tonight. So we do have an update. Be it resolved that Council of the Township Clearview hereby receive report BL 003-2024. It's in regards to the property standards update, and it's dated October 21st, 2024. Received for information. Mr. Broderick, seconded by Mr. Walker. Are there any questions to the bylaw officer or the clerk? No questions? Keep up the good work, Joe. All those in favor? All right, that carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Underneath Finance Council, we have the municipal tax sale process. I believe Kelly, our treasurer, is on board. She's electronically joining us, I believe. And so I'll read the motion here. There she is. Hello, Kelly. Nice to see you. Be it resolved that Council of the Township Clearview hereby receive report FIN 012-2024 municipal tax sale process dated October 21st, 2024 for information. Mover and seconder on this to get it on the floor. Deneen, thank you. Mr. Beelan, thank you. Hi, Kelly. Do you have anything you want to mention in regards to this report?
It's pretty detailed, Your Worship. The only thing I'd like to point out is we are still on the 3-year timeline. So people who are 3 years in arrears fall into the tax sale process. We try our best to work with anybody in that 2-year sort of window. Legislation does allow those to go to tax sale, but we haven't moved in that direction yet.
Okay, members of council, do you have any questions to Kelly in regards to this report? Going once. All right. Thank you, Kelly, for your report. Members of council, we have a mover and seconder. I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, council. Now, over to the administration. We do have the advertising service agreement with the Creemore Echo. Council, you'll recall this was a 1-year agreement, so we have an update here. So I'll read the report, look for a mover and seconder. Be it resolved that Council of the Township Clearview hereby receive report CAO 008-2024 regarding the advertising service agreement with the Creemore Echo dated October 21st, 2024, and that item number 1, council support entering into an additional 1-year advertising service agreement with 1459425 Ontario Limited, owner operator of the Creemore Echo, with an amendment to the agreement allowing for township public service announcements to be included in the paid advertising page. And item 2, that a bylaw authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute the advertising services agreement be presented at the October 21st, 2024 council meeting. Is there a mover and seconder on this motion? Mr. Broderick, thank you. Mr. MacArthur seconded it. Thank you. Mr. CAO or clerk, I think Mr. CAO, would you like to speak to this?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I spoke with Sarah. Can you hear me okay?
Bring it forward there just a little bit.
I spoke with Sarah Hershoff with the Echo, and we talked about extending this agreement for a 2nd year. She did increase the circulation, and some of the communities obviously would have seen a difference this past year. So we're interested in doing it again. We did suggest in the instance of our paid advertisements for employment or planning matters that we would reduce some of those ads so we could fit in some PSAs within the same page cost dimension, if that is clear. And that's really the only change that we've agreed upon. Otherwise, it's there for council to consider. It's basically the same agreement as last year.
Okay. And so an example of those PSAs would be clearly advertising when the parking restrictions for winter parking would be available. Because I like to read the paper and make sure I get my facts correct, right? So
That could certainly be one. We haven't determined which ones will be the PSAs as of yet, but it will take some coordination from each of the departments and likely your office as well.
thank you very much. Members of council, do you have any questions to the CAO or any questions on the contract, the agreement? Yes, Mr. Beelan?
Thank you, Your Worship. I know earlier in the day I asked Tammy if you had any information on how effective the Echo is in for job applications. Do we even need to do that anymore, or do most of the applicants get their info from websites, or do you have any information on that?
Tammy, if you like.
Thank you through your worship, Councillor Beelan. And I apologize, I just saw your email now. So I have responded, but you haven't probably seen it yet. So we often don't know how they've received or viewed our job posting. Sometimes it's included in their offer letter, but we haven't to date gathered that data. I can say that we advertise quite liberally everywhere. Professional associations, our local paper, the Creemore Echo, as well as our social media sites as well. So it is really hard to tell where people are seeing the job postings at this time.
So it's not part of our job interview questions where they learned of the job?
I haven't asked that question. I could certainly start gathering that data if council wishes.
Okay.
Thank you. Just to support what Tammy's saying, we do regularly advertise in professional organization magazines, depending on the job titles and job positions. So, you know, in AMCTO world, clerks departments, we advertise through that. Public Works, there's Good Roads advertisement and so on. That brings attention to job postings. So, as well as working with the local media to promote these positions. I think the if I can share with you, the conversation I had with our CAO was based on the advertisements for jobs seem to be dominating the content that we're paying for out of this contract. And I felt it important for the opportunity for this organization, Clearview Township, to promote interesting and important public service announcement tools and announcements and activities that we could use in that same space. While the job posting advertisement, you know, frankly, can be quite enormous, it actually can be quite smaller and have more space available for announcements about events, parking, library special event, you know, ice time availabilities as we get into the spring, how we extend our ice sometimes. I mean, we can use these tools, I think, to share with the public things that are happening in our community that are beyond job postings. That's what I'm hoping. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. That's sort of the thinking I was thinking. If someone's looking for a job, I think that'd be the last place they'd go look, because in the newspaper, they'd be looking at all these other places first. So I think it's kind of a waste of space having all that size of ad in the paper all the time. I'm not even sure when people look for their information, whether they go online first or not, rather than to the local paper. So I'm not sure we even need to renew this contract myself. So.
All right. If there's any other questions or comments from members of council? Seeing none? Yes, Mr. Walker?
Thank you, Your Worship. To the treasurer, do we have a total of what last year we paid to the Creamer Echo?
Kelly, are you on board? Did you copy that question? Kelly, she's trying to come in.
Great time for my internet to go a little wonky on me. Through your worship to Councillor Walker, I don't have that information in front of me, and unfortunately my VPN is not working this evening, but I can certainly send it out to council.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Walker, thank you. Any other members with any questions or comments? All right. I'll just qualify again that I think we're actually blessed to have a local media in our community in today's world. There's very, very few communities that actually have print media available to them. If you even consider the city of Barrie does not have print media available to them anymore. So we do have a print media available to us. We are fortunate to have other media sources like radio is still available. And there are many online services available too. They're all competing for a little bit of the share of that media marketing opportunity. I think, you know, while the provincial government standards change in regards to what is required to be advertised, what is not, the goal of the municipality has always been to have information available on our website first. That falls underneath the responsibility through the CAO's office and the communications officer that we have. And so I think if you look across our website, there is an awful lot of information available that comes out in a timely manner in regards to job postings or announcements or press releases. There's a lot of work that's still being done. So council, I think you know, we're in a position here where we're fortunate to still have local media. Members of council, I have nothing further unless there's any last comments. Seeing none, I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? Are there any opposed? Thank you. That motion does carry. Thank you very much. All right. Members of council, we're moving on to our facilities contract in regards to cleaning. Facilities cleaning contract, RFQ. So recommendation be it resolved that council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 029/2024 Township Facilities Cleaning Services RFQ Award, and it's dated October 21st, 2024. Item 1, that council awards the cleaning services RFQ to Corporate Mirror Inc. in the monthly amount of $6,999.72, which includes HST, for a 4-year term, provided services for the following facilities: the Township Administration Center, the Tourism Building, Stayner Public Works Building, and Clearview Public Library branches of Stayner, New Lowell, and Creemore. Members of council, that's the motion. Do you have a mover and seconder, please? Mr. Broderick, thank you. Is there a seconder on the motion? Yes, Janine, thank you. All right, I have a question to the Legislative Services Clerk. Does this include the new public works fire station in New Lowell?
Thank you, Your Worship. Pardon my voice. I know that's currently under a different cleaning contract.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions, members of council? Yes, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Your Worship. To our human resources, will those 6 locations be given a WMIS data form on all products used by the cleaning company for safety concerns?
Thank you through your worship, Councillor Walker. We currently have SDS binders located in all of our facilities, and our Public Works clerk does an amazing job at keeping those up to date. And so those binders will be found in all of our locations where staff are in attendance.
Mr. Walker, go ahead.
So the new company will give us then the updated the data sheets on their products so that they can be put into those binders.
My apologies. So the Public Works clerk will work closely with the cleaning contractor to get a sense of what products are that they're using, and make sure that the SDS binders will be up to date with those.
All right. Thank you very much. Anybody else with any other questions? No? Mr. CIO, are you comfortable with the results of this process? I know we have discussed at times whether we would have a facilities manager type facility. Is this going to work for you, or in the best interest of the township?
Sorry, Your Worship. From a cleaning perspective, I would say yes. As it relates to ongoing future property management issues, I think there's a little bit more we'll have to do there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Members of council, nothing further? I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, council, I believe we're moving straight to our bylaws next. And here's one that our clerk has been anticipating for some time. I'm sure all of us have. She lost her voice. She's so excited. She's going to cheer once this gets read. We have in front of us bylaw 2471, which is the procedure bylaw as a result of the procedure bylaw review. If you recall, council, we dealt with this before, and now we have it in front of us for passing. The recommendation is this: be it resolved that bylaw 2471, being a bylaw to govern the proceedings and meetings of council, committees, and boards of council, be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 21st day of October 2024. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Mr. Broderick. Council, you've got the bylaw in front of you. Any comments? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor? That bylaw carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, congratulations. I say that only because there's been an awful lot of work on it to review this, and so thank you so much. Thank you. Council, in front of us, we have bylaw 2472, the advertising services agreement with the Creemore Echo. Be it resolved, bylaw 2472, being a bylaw to authorize entering into an advertiser services agreement with 1459425 Ontario Limited, the Creemore Echo, be presented over a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 21st day of October 2024. Mr. Broderick, Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the bylaw. All those in favor? Opposed? Acknowledged, and thank you. The bylaw carries. All right. Council, we have notice of motion or new business. Anybody got any new business? Nope, seeing none. Now we have the bylaw to confirm our proceedings of this council meeting. So bylaw 2473 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the October 21st, 2024 council meeting be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 21st day of October 2024. Mr. Walker, Mr. Beelan, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the bylaw in favor. That confirms our bylaw. Thank you. That carries. And now we are at the motion to adjourn unless there's nothing else for the good of council. Council, 6:32. Is that right? 32. All right. Be it resolved, the council meeting be adjourned at 6:32 PM. Mr. Broderick, Mr. Deputy Mayor, thank you very much. All those in favor? That carries. Thank you very much, council and staff, for being here and for the public for joining us. That concludes our meeting and wish you an excellent day tomorrow as the weather is going to be spectacular.